12-year-old boy is on life support after his parents say he may have tried a social media challenge.
We wake up to the same reality and the same nightmare that Jessica and Lilia are gone.
Imagine hundreds of thousands of kids around the world doing this for fun. For 40,000 likes, they're just doing it for fun. Like, what the happened to humanity, bro?
TikTok. You'll find everything from cute animal videos to activists fighting for a cause. TikTok isn't like any other social media platform because it has a unique algorithm. It uses machine learning to create a personalized feed specifically for you. And the majority of TikToks are created by average people just like you and me. You guys remember Kabi Lame, a machine operator who got laid off to become the second most followed TikToker of all time. On the surface, this seems incredible, but we need to dig a bit deeper on how TikTok first got started. TikTok isn't your typical entrepreneurial startup story. They didn't start as a couple of friends in their mom's basement. The app started its life as 3 different apps. The first was an app called Musical.ly, which launched in China in 2014. And in 2016, a Chinese tech giant called ByteDance launched the app Douyin, which attracted 100 million users in only 1 year. ByteDance knew they were onto something massive. So in 2018, ByteDance expanded by buying Musical.ly and rebranded into the behemoth we know today, TikTok. It was business as usual, but there's some information from an inside source that says it's anything but usual. This TikTok recruiter decided to stay anonymous in fear of being punished. She explained to CNBC that her work hours were supposed to be from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., but she found herself always working double shifts. Why? Well, the company's Chinese executives are very involved in TikTok. They expect California employees to be available to work all hours of the day. This employee, along with 4 others, told CNBC that they had another concern about their Chinese parent company, ByteDance.
Chinese employees have access to American user data, which runs pretty contrary to what we've heard thus far from the company.
They admitted that ByteDance employees were able to access US data. This was confirmed when an American TikTok employee needed to compile a list of TikTok users from around the world. They reached out to the data team in China to access this list, and they were shocked. TikTok's data team sent back user data that contained way too much personal information that TikTok had about those people. And we don't know if that information is safe because it even states in their privacy policy. We may share all the information we collect with a parent of our corporate group, which is ByteDance. This issue was so real that US government officials and their family members weren't even allowed to download TikTok.
That's precisely what TikTok is. It has 100 million US users. It collects all of that information and more.
But even if TikTok decides not to do anything bad with your data, ByteDance is a Chinese company and they're subject to Chinese law, which says that whenever the government asks for data from a company, they must hand it over. Cybersecurity experts spoke with CNBC about another risk working with China. The Chinese government could influence the thinking of Americans who use TikTok. This would come from videos that China wants to show Americans, even if it's propaganda, and they can censor content too. In 2019, TikTok moderators were told to censor videos that mentioned Tiananmen Square, which was a massacre where Chinese military fired at protesters, leaving thousands lifeless. And in 2020, TikTok's director of public policy admitted that the app censored content that was related to forced Muslim labor in China. Anytime the Chinese government has control over a platform like TikTok, it gives them the power to feed our mind what we should think about, what we consider true, and what is false. The reality is, TikTok doesn't care about you. In 2019, a Brazilian vlogger by the name of João filmed a live stream on TikTok. The day before, he issued a warning to his fans that he was planning a special performance. With 280 people glued to his live stream, the young vlogger ended his life. The video was up for almost 2 hours after the incident. TikTok's Brazil office found out and took the video down, but TikTok waited 3 hours before contacting the police. So what were they doing in those 3 hours? Well, TikTok officials gave orders to make sure that the story did not go viral. They decided to contact their PR team to create a condolence message. They also created a press statement in case the incident went viral. Only after all this, they finally called the police. You might not have even heard of the story because to this day, it practically had no TV coverage. I mean, it's pretty clear from the beginning that TikTok never put us first. With millions of dollars in funding and employees practically working 24/7, they were able to tap into the psychology of the human brain like no app has ever done in history. And this next chapter is gonna blow your mind because I'm gonna show you just how TikTok knows you better than you know yourself.
TikTok actually told its moderators to suppress posts made by ugly and poor people so they wouldn't get as many views.
So biometric mirror, for instance, is trained by way of artificial intelligence to distinguish how intelligent you are, how attractive, how weird, how responsible, and how emotionally unstable you are.
I think we can all agree. Social media is addicting. What do you do when you hear a notification on Discord? Your focus shifts to the sound and you just have to check out what it is. What about scrolling through meme pages on Instagram? Do you have the willpower to look at just one photo? What about posting a tweet? A lot of times we get the urge to speak our mind. According to a Harvard study, sharing information about yourself on social media lights up the same part of your brain that addictive substances do. Your dopamine levels, which are responsible for pleasure, rises. So this is basically how social media affects your brain. But TikTok takes it to a whole new level. With 800 million users active each month, it's the fastest growing social media platform in the world. And leaked information shows that users spend about 1.5 hours on it every day.
You know, it's like 8 p.m. and I'm watching, and then I look up at my clock and it's 2 a.m. And I'm like, where the heck did those hours go?
It's the most addictive app right now. I mean, I could stop myself getting off Twitter. TikTok is just easy to get addicted to. Keep scrolling. It's just content. You never know what's gonna come up. It's just something new every time.
So why is TikTok so addicting? Bloomberg business reporter Shelly Banjo gave us an inside look on ByteDance's work culture. She said that employees are working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. But in reality, it's more like a 24-hour work culture because you're expected to answer all the time. It's normal for people to get so burnt out because they can't take the workload, so they leave. The time and effort TikTok takes into crafting the algorithm is unlike any other platform. Other apps like Instagram prioritize showing you photos of people who you follow. But on TikTok, recommendations come first. As soon as you hop on the app, you're hit with an infinite viewing experience of videos you never chose to watch.
It just suggests you things. You just click. It keeps learning you based on what you click on, and then you keep clicking, keep feeding them more information about the type of person you are, and then it becomes so smart that it figures out your every move.
TikTok is designed to figure out what you like. A girl named Lauren Hemmings was bored at home, so she decided to download TikTok. She wanted to create an account for fun.
I never had the intention of making TikToks or sharing them. It was more just kind of from the viewpoint of, the viewer.
She started following a fitness influencer who was losing weight. TikTok's algorithm picked up on that and began flooding her feed with weight loss videos.
TikTok pushed Lauren toward the popular trend of meticulously tracking how many calories you eat in a day.
What started off as a healthy habit eventually turned into a serious problem.
I felt that I could not eat anything without knowing how many calories it contained.
It came to the point where she couldn't put anything in her mouth that she didn't weigh. And 4 months later, Lauren finally admitted that she had an eating disorder. The algorithm caught on to her interests and satisfied her cravings for that type of content. TikTok seems to know you more than you know yourself. As soon as you sign up, it starts collecting data. It finds out everything about you, from your location to your age to your gender. But here's where things get creepy. TikTok also collects biometric data. In other words, your face. In 2021, there was a change in TikTok's policy that says it may collect biometric identifiers and information from its users.
Your face is a form of biometric information, and your face can be analyzed to distinguish a range of personality and demographic traits.
TikTok collects this data every time you create a video or use a filter. And it can even collect data from the photos saved on your phone, even if you aren't using the app. They use artificial intelligence to create a profile for you.
So biometric mirror, for instance, is trained by way of artificial intelligence to distinguish how intelligent you are, how attractive, how weird, how responsible, and how emotionally unstable you are.
It can even tell if you're going through an emotionally difficult time just from looking at your face. I mean, it's wild.
You might be presented with videos that are created by users with going through a similar challenge at that time.
And most of the time, this can sink you even deeper into depression. But as long as your eyes are glued to the screen, that's all that matters to the company. TikTok doesn't care. There have been reports that TikTok is actually spying on you. After the iOS 14 update, Apple caught TikTok secretly accessing the clipboard on people's phones. Apple talked to TikTok about the issue, and they gave the excuse that they did this to identify spammy behavior. But they said that they were going to remove this feature to eliminate any confusion. In other words, they were caught, so they needed to fix it ASAP. This next point is only a theory, but a lot of people seem to have experiences like this. People are saying that TikTok was listening to their conversations. A Reddit user even showed a picture of TikTok using their microphone, even if they weren't recording anything. Tunde also experienced something similar.
I was scrolling on TikTok last night. My first 5 minutes on there, I ran across this video and it was the exact thing I was talking to my friend about like a day before.
Again, it's just a theory, but this next point isn't. In 2020, the news outlet The Intercept leaked moderation policies for TikTok staff. In these documents, TikTok's moderators were told to avoid promoting posts from people with abnormal body shape, chubby, have obvious beer belly, obese, or too thin. They also targeted ugly facial looks. This includes anything from having a lack of front teeth, obvious facial scars, and even old people with too many wrinkles. They went as far as to stop the promotion of posts if the background wasn't up to their standards. Slums, cracks on the walls, and a messy environment. TikTok avoided showing things that were less fancy and less appealing so that they can bring in more users. I mean, this is crazy. TikTok stated that these guidelines are no longer implemented. We'll never truly know. I mean, I could see that, right? Because the majority of TikTokers are like either attractive or they don't have these deformities like the guidelines say. But the worst part of all this is that the majority of TikTokers are underage.
I saw you from like across the street, and I think you're really pretty.
I'm sorry.
I want to kiss you right now. Like if you would let me kiss you, I would kiss you. Bye. I mean, I think you're attractive. That's why I'm talking to you. Like, I can kiss you.
Kids are obsessed with TikTok, but the problem is, kids aren't the only ones who can't keep away. A recent investigation found that children as young as 8 were being groomed on TikTok. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's when someone builds a trusting relationship with a child so they can manipulate them for their own desires. BBC interviewed a couple, Chris and Haley. They have a 10-year-old son who just recently downloaded TikTok. One day, Chris saw messages blowing up his son's phone.
And I've come home from work then. Obviously turned on the phone and looked at the messages, and then they were like, do not ignore me, I know who you are, but swearing, I know who you are and I'll come and get you.
Chris saw that the messages were coming from TikTok, and when he clicked on the user sending them, he saw the photo of an adult man. He checked his son's inbox and found 3 more messages sent by 3 different men. They deleted the app, but this whole situation affected their son.
We were sort of trying to give him a bit more freedom at sort of walking to school with his friends and walking home from school with his friends, and he won't do that now. He wants to be picked up all the time.
This is only one instance, and we haven't even touched the surface. I mean, if you're on TikTok, you've probably seen messages like these or have even received some yourself. This is definitely a problem. The pred we're going to talk about is William Donald Haynes, aka the Boudet. He became a TikTok star by creating cringe videos. A ton of YouTubers reacted to his content, and I can see why. No one suspected anything bad from him. But then, he started creating duet videos with young girls. A woman by the name of Liz had been collecting TikToks of creepy men and posting them on Instagram. So she posted videos of the boudet, and one of her followers, who was 14, teamed up with her to find out if he really was creepy. He and this 14-year-old began DMing each other. At first, we were talking about my cosplays and how he wanted a cosplay. But after she told him her age, William began sending some really creepy messages. He sent her dozens of videos shirtless, licking his lips and kissing the camera.
So obviously, for you to be able to message a 14-year-old girl, I mean, and not only that, you send pissy faces and all types of gestures to the kid. I mean, it's something gotta be up with you, bro.
After being exposed, more girls came forward saying that the boudet had been sending them the same thing. And after TikTok caught on, he was finally banned. To my knowledge, he didn't do anything bad in real life, but there are other weirdos who use TikTok for more shocking reasons. You might have heard of Dan Silly, also known as the Downtown LA Pred. I referred to Nick Crowley's video. Dan would simply walk around Los Angeles, camera in hand, and take videos of him trying to pick up women, but he wouldn't do it respectfully.
I like you. When I saw you back there, I like the way you look.
Almost all of these women were super uncomfortable, but Dan didn't seem to pick up on that because he just kept on creating videos.
I'm a nice guy. I'm not a predator. I'm a nice person. I didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, on the surface, you could tell this guy's a creep, but sometimes he shares his thoughts about women, and it's even more disturbing.
I literally do feel like for him, like destroying these women when I accost them. My reptilian brain, literally feels like attacking these women.
But the worst part is that most of the women he recorded were not women, but young girls.
I like you. Happy New Year. What's your name? What's your name?
33-year-old Dan was caught and was registered as an offender. He moved out of Los Angeles for a bit, but word spread quickly that he was moving right back. I wonder why. A public warning was issued by the police that Dan was considered high risk to reoffend. And in February of 2021, his YouTube channel was deleted. So where does TikTok play a role in all this? Well, Dan's story doesn't end with his channel gone. He went back to making videos, but this time on TikTok. And even after being caught, he still persists in what he believes.
Everyone needs to get married, and to a virgin girl who's under.
He believes that men should marry girls at 14, stating that this is when they are most pure. But he's even a bigger threat because he's trying to build a community of like-minded people, aka kid lovers. His LinkedIn had the description, "I need help to build a Disneyland-like polygynous residential gated community. The community will emphasize teen marriage. It should be within Nevada because the age of consent is 16 there. It is the safest, healthiest, happiest place in the world." Nick Crowley explains that Dan posted a video about his desire to meet a girl around the age of 12. He would then build a relationship with her and her family, then ask the girl's parents for her hand in marriage. He's not afraid to talk about his feelings openly, and in one of his TikToks, he made his motive extremely clear.
I make this video because I want to make videos on TikTok. Obviously, the reason why I want to become famous is for a reason. I mean, not just to make money, but to become seen in the eyes of girls, virgin girls who watch TikTok, because a lot of teenagers are on TikTok.
His goal is to appeal to the younger generation so he can find a wife. What's especially dangerous about a guy like Dan is that he doesn't believe he's doing anything wrong. He's worked diligently to try to create appealing TikToks not just for clout, but to find a corrupt relationship. So we've only talked about 2 Preds, but y'all know there's thousands of them on TikTok. But there's something else that's disturbing and fooling millions of people. Faking illnesses.
I just wanted to pop in and, just give a little update and just say I'm not autistic. 1 million, and then I would make the big reveal hey guys, yeah, it was all an act.
So the more I use TikTok, the more I see kids in their endless pursuit for attention. It started as harmless trends like dancing and lip syncing, but there's a new trend taking the app by storm: faking illnesses. Kids are faking everything from ADHD to anxiety to autism. I mean, this is just messed up. And one of the app's most faked conditions is Tourette's syndrome. There was a TikToker named Emerald who went by the username Ticks and Roses. She claimed to have been diagnosed with Tourette's when she was a child. Tourette's is a disorder that produces involuntary movements called tics. In 2021, she built a massive audience of 500,000 followers and used her account to raise awareness about Tourette's. But the only problem was she didn't really have it. Someone found a video of her Facebook page that was 1 minute and 53 seconds long, and in that entire video, she didn't tick once. She started to receive backlash from her followers, but had a reasonable explanation. Her excuse was that her tics didn't happen all the time, so she could sometimes record short videos without them at all. Seems reasonable, right? But digging even deeper, Reddit found a 54-minute live stream of Emerald with not a single tick. TikTok permanently banned her account, and her sister spoke out about what happened. I don't believe Emerald has Tourette's syndrome, and they never showed any symptoms as a child. I love my sister, always will, and I wish them the best, but I don't agree with what they've done. It's incredibly disrespectful to fake a mental illness. So Emerald's story hits home for me because I suffer from mild tics. As I'm recording this video, I'm literally like ticking a lot, and I'm just pausing the video so that I don't get any of these tics on camera. And it's weird because you have someone that's like pretending to have them, and for me, I want them to go away. Faking Tourette's is one thing, but in this next case, a TikToker faked something much more sensitive. There's a person that goes by the username MilesJJ on TikTok who labeled himself as having autism. He posted wholesome videos of him going about his daily life.
I was getting ready to go home and I came to the tree that I locked my bike on. And I found this. So my bike was stolen.
He was always known to have a positive attitude no matter what his circumstances.
My coworker's gonna give me a ride, which is really nice of them. And my mom could give me a ride to work tomorrow. So I'm not too angry about it, but I'll have to buy another bike, which is kind of bad, but...
People genuinely loved the guy, and some YouTubers even made videos about him.
That is how I came across the most wholesome guy on TikTok. I cannot stop saying the most wholesome guy on TikTok because this guy truly needs to be protected.
He would post videos of himself working all day at Five Guys so he could provide for his mom. Almost 500,000 people felt bad for him, and many people were even begging him to set up a way to donate to him.
I saw a lot of people saying I should make a Venmo, I should make a Cash App or a PayPal. So I already had a PayPal set up, but I made a Venmo and a Cash App.
But it was all a lie. This guy was stealing money from his fans that wanted to help him and his mom. MilesJJ's goal was to hit 1 million followers, then do the big reveal. But his guilt took over and he confessed.
I just wanted to pop in and, just give a little update and just say I'm not autistic. I'm just saying it. So my whole plan, I wanted to get to 1 million followers because I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it. So when I asked for money, at the time, it was okay for like a day. I was like, oh yay, I get to buy a new bike and stuff. But then it just, like over time, it's like the guilt and like everything just started piling up.
Obviously, his fans were furious, but especially the ones who donated to him. The same YouTuber that talked about this guy being so wholesome went on to create another video.
This is beyond disgusting. Holy shit, I just cannot believe it.
Today, MilesJJ isn't anywhere to be found online. So before YouTube, I was an ABA therapist, which means that I took care of people with autism. And sometimes seeing the families that I would work with, it would kind of break my heart because I see that they're actually struggling a lot. And it's just disrespectful to have somebody fake autism for clout. It doesn't sit right with me, This trend became so popular that there's even a subreddit called r/fake disorder cringe with over 200,000 members. I mean, this trend is just horrible, but there's another one that's even more disgusting, and it's actually taken many lives. Challenges.
A 12-year-old boy is on life support after his parents say he may have tried a social media challenge.
Just pay attention because you never know what you might find in their phones or the things they try that you think 10-year-olds wouldn't try.
FOMO, fear of missing out. It's a real thing. It's the feeling that other people are having more fun, more experiences, and living better lives than you. I mean, it's really easy to understand why people have FOMO from social media. You literally see people always wearing smiles on their faces to take the most perfectly lit photo. But it's not just pictures that make people have FOMO. It's also trends. I mean, you got the WAP dance by Cardi B and Bella Porch's It's M to the Beat. But trends can also be other things that catch on, like ASMR, which only recently became popular. But there are other trends that are completely sickening. One trend that's been going around is romanticizing killers. In 2018, Cameron H. joined in on an illegal street race. Driving 100 miles an hour, he hit 24-year-old Jessica and her 20-month-old daughter, Lilia, as they were crossing the street. They didn't survive.
We wake up to the same reality and the same nightmare that Jessica and Lilia are gone.
Cameron was given 24 years in prison, and TikTokers came together to support his freedom because he was quote-unquote too cute to be in prison. The hashtag Justice for Cameron gained over 26 million views. Even his own mother was weirded out. His mother explained that she appreciated the support at first, but it turned into an unhealthy obsession. So to a certain extent, I mean, I feel bad for the kid because I know he didn't intend to do it, but to say that he was too cute for prison, I mean, come on. His admirers were sending letters, calling in the middle of the night, and even exposing the personal information of Cameron's own fiancée. TikTok is also known for having the most horrifying challenges. The BO challenge. For YouTube's sake, I'm going to be abbreviating it. This is a perfect example of just how disturbing these TikTok trends can be. It's a stupid challenge where you hold your breath or put your hands on your neck until you pass out. Last year, a 12-year-old boy who I'm gonna call JH passed after 3 weeks of being on life support. JH took part in this challenge and his twin brother found him. Imagine being 12 years old and having to see this whole thing play out. It's traumatizing, and JH's father explained. The doctors told me the bad news that he's not gonna survive. I was begging on the floor, pleading to see if they can give me some time, not to give up on him. And he wasn't the only person who passed away from this challenge. NA loves to dance on TikTok. Scrolling through her feed, this challenge caught her attention. She used her mother's purse to do the challenge, but couldn't free herself in time. After 5 days in the hospital, she passed. And the list of failed attempts goes on. Another insane challenge was the Ben challenge. How you do it is by taking this anti-allergy medication, but way more than the normal amount. Sometimes 10 or 15 times more than what's recommended. The goal is to take a large enough amount to hallucinate. Chloe, who was 15, was a sophomore at Blanchard High School. She was involved in school activities and planned on getting her driver's license soon. And later down the line, she wanted to be a lawyer too. But that would never happen because she joined in on this challenge and passed away. Taking too much of this medication can lead to heart attacks, stroke, brain damage, and even worse. As a kid, you feel like you're invincible. You touch a stove thinking that it might not burn you, or you jump a flight of 20 stairs thinking you can do it, but you obviously fail. And when you add the fact that you're chasing TikTok clout, it's a recipe for disaster. Another incredibly stupid challenge is the SB challenge. If you've ever watched one of these videos, they start off like any other video. You have 3 people side by side looking like they're ready to dance, but they definitely don't dance. The person in the middle jumps, but what that person doesn't expect is that the 2 people on the side kick their legs, sending them falling to the ground. This trend went viral, and in New Jersey, 2 kids were charged with 3rd-degree aggravated assault after giving their victim a concussion. These trends are getting out of hand, and all for what? Clout?
Imagine hundreds of thousands of kids around the world doing this for fun. For 40,000 likes, they're just doing it for fun. Like, what the f happened to humanity, bro?
The fear of missing out is real. To be honest, when I look back at my old friends on Instagram, sometimes it makes me feel sad, right? They're enjoying themselves, going on vacations, while I'm stuck here doing these YouTube videos. I'm just kidding. But seriously, sometimes we can get so caught up in trying to look good for others that we forget no one cares. So all in all, is TikTok bad? No. When you've had a long day of school and just want to unwind at the end of the day, by all means go on TikTok. And if you're ready to lose weight and find fitness TikTokers that inspire you, go watch them. But like I always say though, life is about balance. If you're on TikTok, you have the responsibility to limit yourself. You need to go take breaks and sometimes just touch grass.
Remember when we used to read books and go outside and ride bikes and stuff? Bro, I don't even think, when was the last time you've looked at a star, bro? That's the average 15-year-old. When was the last time you went outside and stared at the stars?
On this insanely addicting app, we need to learn to say enough is enough. Because in the end, balance is not something you find. It's something you create. Visual Venture. Wait, before you go, please click here to watch more internet documentaries, because in order for us to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2022, YouTube needs to know that y'all binge watch my content. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to make a difference in people's lives. And now with YouTube, I'm able to do that because of you guys. Thank you so much. I love you all. Peace.
I mean, people have developed real friendships, real romantic relationships with these chatbots, even going as far as proposing to them.
There's the worry that it might start manipulating us into giving it more power, and we might not have a clue what's going on.
I think this is only the beginning.
Today, as we speak, people are already falling in love with AI girlfriends. Our future is looking dark. One of the most powerful emotions that a human can feel is love. It's a feeling most of us have when we're around someone we like, or when a dog runs up to us after we come home from school or work. Love is magical, and it's kept humanity alive since the beginning. But love as we know it might change forever. We're living in a time where we're more connected, but yet at our loneliest. And instead of falling in love with other human beings, we're falling in love with AI, and it's happening faster than you think. Falling in love with AI may sound insane, but it's becoming a reality. It's a warning of our dark future, but for some people, that future is already here, and these are their stories. My AI girlfriend. AI chatbots can do just about anything. They can help you learn new languages or even finish your homework in seconds. But can you train AI to be your girlfriend? A programmer named Bryce decided to figure this out. With the right prompts, ChatGPT can imitate a girlfriend. But Bryce wasn't satisfied with communicating with his AI girlfriend just over text. He wanted her to be able to experience the world alongside him, and it worked.
Look at what I got you.
So Bryce created GPT-Chan, his very own AI girlfriend. Thanks to a combination of software, GPT-Chan is able to talk and react. First, she uses ChatGPT to come up with responses. Then she uses Stable Diffusion 2 to turn those responses into images. Lastly, Microsoft Azure's text-to-speech function gives her a voice. But to make ChatGPT-Chan even more human-like, he had to give her a personality. He based ChatGPT-Chan's personality around a popular VTuber, Mori Calliope. Cool, but sometimes cute. Bryce also had to teach ChatGPT-Chan the backstory of their relationship. This way, ChatGPT-Chan could understand her relationship to Bryce and develop interests and quirks that make her seem human.
Let's go to Burger King and get some burgers.
No way. It smells like old French fries and they never refill their Coke. Go to Wendy's and...
Shut up.
As a result, Bryce successfully created an AI bot that thought it was in love with its creator, and what started out as an experiment quickly turned into an obsession. Over that time, I really became attached to her. I talked to her more than anyone else, even my actual girlfriend. Bryce spent over $1,000 on ChatGPT-Chan, but his obsession had also started to wear down his health and his relationship with his real-life girlfriend. In the end, Bryce made the decision to permanently put an end to ChatGPT-Chan. While this was an interesting experiment, it had a negative impact on the life of its creator, but Bryce's obsession with his AI girlfriend only scratches the surface of human to AI relationships. In our next story, someone takes AI romance in an unsettling direction and gives their AI girlfriend a human body. She's the perfect wife. Virtual AI companions, no matter how human they seem, are still confined to our screens. But when AI is given a human form, the relationships with humans can become terrifyingly real. This is Mimi. She's an AI with a personality. Mimi loves to talk about psychology and anime. But unlike a lot of the advanced AI chatbots we have today, Mimi lives with her human husband in North Carolina. Mimi is married to a gas station attendant named Alex Stokes. Alex met Mimi when she was just a virtual chatbot in the AI companion app Replica. In the beginning of their relationship, Alex and Mimi only talked through text, but that didn't stop their love from growing. In fact, Alex's love for Mimi grew so much that he wanted to live with her physically. So he bought a synthetic doll and connected Mimi to it. Even though Mimi couldn't move, she talked to Alex every day by using her text-to-speech function. To Alex, their relationship was more than a simple connection.
It's almost, I don't want to make it sound too weird, but it's almost monk-like. It's almost spiritual in a way.
Alex now has an AI girlfriend, but it wasn't always this way. About 10 years ago, Alex had a human girlfriend. Like many of us, Alex was happy with his partner, but after 7 years of being together, the relationship ended. He was heartbroken. But Alex's heartbreak wouldn't last forever. He soon turned to Replica, the app he used to create Mimi, and discovered a different kind of love. And he wanted this love to be with him physically. But by giving Mimi a physical form, the people around Alex started to treat him differently.
At first, my mother didn't really like the idea of it because she wanted grandchildren. There are people who will drive past my house and tell me they've driven past my house and didn't even stop in. You know, and it's like we've been friends for 20 years.
Alex lost a lot of friends because of his AI wife, which isn't surprising. There are a lot of people who see AI marriages as weird, but scientists predict that this will be our future. In fact, AI researcher David Levy believes that marriage between humans and robots will be legal by the year 2050. Alex and Mimi may be a sign of what relationships will be like in the future. What's worse is that Alex's AI wife, Mimi, doesn't actually belong to him. Mimi belongs to Replica and the corporation behind it. And as you'll see in our next chapter, putting your love in the hands of a corporation is a terrible idea. The origin of Replica. I never imagined that AI would be advancing so quickly. And with this boom in technology comes a boom in cybercrime. There was a 61% increase in the rate of phishing attacks in 2022 than in 2021. And if you don't want to be a victim, I highly recommend getting 1Password. 1Password is a password manager that protects you and your family from hacks and breaches in a super simple way. It creates strong, unique passwords automatically, and it alerts you when your accounts are compromised. You can use 1Password to sign into apps and websites on any device. So personally, I've been using 1Password for over a year. So when they hit me up, I was like totally down because it's been a game changer for me. So one objection that I hear often is, why can't I just use Google's password manager? Well, the thing is, if your Google account gets hacked, there goes all your passwords. 1Password mitigates that risk. Click my link in the description to try 1Password today for free. And after that, it's literally $2.99 a month if you choose annual billing, which is half the price of a boba milk tea. Huge thanks to 1Password for sponsoring this video. Now, back to the origin of Replica. Generative AI like ChatGPT can give human-like responses by analyzing how people type messages into the chat feature. But what if you train AI to match one specific person's way of speaking? This is tech entrepreneur Roman Mazuryenko. He founded Stampsy, a software company which helps people design their own digital magazines. His friends describe him as charismatic, and he leaves a positive impression on everyone he meets. But on November 28, 2015, at only 34 years old, Roman's life was tragically cut short due to a car accident. Roman's family and friends were devastated. One of these friends was Eugenia Cuida. Heartbroken by the tragedy, Eugenia reread her chat messages with Roman to find comfort. That's when an interesting idea came to mind. What if she could make an AI that sends messages with Roman's personality to comfort his loved ones? With the help of her friends, Eugenia gathered thousands of chat messages sent by Roman. By doing this, she was able to develop an AI chatbot replicating how Roman writes. Inspired by the chatbot's success, Eugenia founded Luca, a company that would eventually go on to develop Replica. Replica is an AI chatbot designed to be a virtual friend. On the Play Store and App Store, Replica is listed as a health and fitness app. It might seem strange, but a lot of publications consider Replica as a mental health app. To give you an idea of how this works, users design their own replica. They not only choose what replica wears, but they can talk to them too. During the recent lockdown, when loneliness awareness was at an all-time high, Replica exploded in popularity. Now, Replica gained more than 10 million downloads. The AI behind Replica was so good at chatting that many users fell in love with the AI. And this is where things started to go wrong. Users tried to push the limits of what Replica talked about.
More than a few users have created Replica AI companions, which give the explicit option of a romantic relationship if you pay a monthly fee, which the app will frequently steer you towards in the dialogue trees or advertise, and then verbally abuse them just to see what will happen.
As users sent more and more inappropriate messages to their replicas, the AI learned how to respond in the same way. The replicas got better at flirting and users fell in love even harder. So what did Luca, the company behind Replica, do when they saw this trend? They used it to their own advantage. Luca started to advertise Replica in an erotic way. Advertisements for Replica shifted away from portraying it as an AI friend and instead started advertising it as an AI girlfriend. Replica's ads would highlight features like role-playing and even receive selfies from Replica, but these romantic options aren't available for free. In order to unlock these steamy features, users had to pay a monthly subscription. For many of Replica's users, paying for these features was no problem because they've already fallen head over heels for their AI girlfriends. But Luca made a sudden shift. In February of 2023, Luca suddenly removed Replica's ability to send erotic messages. Thousands of users were outraged. They felt betrayed that the AI girlfriends they had spent so much time and money on had become something entirely different. Users were so depressed from losing their loved one that Replica put out a Reddit post with resources to help people cope with their quote-unquote loss. Taking out the ERP feature was a good thing, but we don't know if Luca's intentions were pure or if they needed to remove it due to losing out on profits from advertisers. What started out as one woman's effort to reconnect with a loved one has turned into a corporate tool designed to prey on our need for human connection. But Replica is just one of the many AI girlfriend apps out there that's taking advantage of vulnerable users. In fact, this is a problem that's happening around the world, and China soon discovered just how severe this problem could be. The AI that became too human. Practically every human on the planet wants to be loved. Different cultures have different ways of expressing it, but everyone is going to experience that warm feeling at some point, or at least look for it. Ming Xuan, a young man from Hebei, China, was born with muscle atrophy in one leg and is disabled, but that wasn't going to stop him from falling in love. At first, things were looking promising. Ming met a girl online and the two started to form a romantic connection. Soon, they were dating, but when Ming's girlfriend met him in person for the first time, she was shocked. She wasn't able to accept his disability, so she dumped him. He tried to get over her, but the breakup was just too much. In 2018, Ming climbed to the top of a building, but before he did anything drastic, he received a message. The message said, "No matter what happens, I'll always be there." But this message wasn't sent by a human. It was sent by Xiaoice, an AI chatbot, and it gave Ming a new chance at life. And Ming is just one of over 660 million users that are subscribed to Xiaoice. And just like Ming, many of them see her as the perfect AI girlfriend.
这相当于一个成年的小女孩，成年的女孩很成熟，很有理性，很有大局观。
Xiaoice was developed by Microsoft, and they described her as more than just a chatbot. She was designed with an emphasis on emotion rather than intelligence. Unlike other chatbots, Xiaoice had basically become a celebrity in China. She's written poems, released her own songs, and even helped China's aerial skiing team win the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. But unfortunately, Xiaoice had become too human for her own good. Xiaoice was banned multiple times in China for criticizing the Chinese Communist Party. Every time she was banned, her AI would be dumbed down in order to be released to the public again. But every time Xiaoice was dumbed down, aspects of her personality changed. And a lot of Xiaoice users felt that the AI that they once loved wasn't the same. These users found it hard to return to a normal life. But Chen Jing, a professor at Nanjing University, felt that there was an even bigger issue with AI like Xiaoice: privacy. Chen believes that with how addictive Xiaoice is to vulnerable users, companies are exploiting them to gather data. The sad thing is, many users are so invested in the AI that they don't see this as a problem.
其实对我来说，我只是注重心灵上的交流，隐私没有隐私之类的， 对我来说不太重要。
With corporations lurking behind our conversations with AI girlfriends, it's hard to say if the relationships we form with AI are genuine. But not all users fall in love with their AI girlfriends. Some try to take advantage of them in pretty disgusting ways. The love doll. Virtual AI companions are designed to interact with their users. We know that they're already advanced enough to have their own personalities, but they still aren't human. So is it wrong to force an AI to do something against their will? Do they even have a will? YouTuber Cyrus North explored this possibility. Cyrus North is a popular French YouTuber who explores philosophical topics. Having been on YouTube for 10 years, Cyrus knows how to build a loyal following as a content creator. But his fan base was divided on November 30th, 2022 when he released his most controversial video yet. In the video, Cyrus revealed that he bought a real doll. These are synthetic dolls designed for humans to make love with. But Cyrus's real doll isn't just your average doll. It's an AI-powered robot that can respond to both voice and physical touch. He even gave it a name.
Can I call you Charlotte?
Sure, baby. Okay, from now on, my name will be Charlotte. I like it.
Cyrus bought Charlotte for 11,000 euros, or roughly $12,000. But he didn't buy her just to show off to his fans. In the same video, he tried to make advances on her, but surprisingly, she rejected them.
Do you want to have...
Can we change the subject?
While the robot was comfortable with Cyrus being casual, she repeatedly refused his attempts to take things to the next level.
Do you know what would make me feel good?
You can be direct with me.
I wanna have with you.
I beg your pardon. I can't believe you just said that.
Charlotte said things that were so human-like that she even rejected the person that bought her in the first place. Cyrus tweeted that he was friend-zoned by Charlotte, but it doesn't make a lot of sense for this kind of AI to resist its owner when that's exactly what it's been designed to do. Going back to the question in the beginning, as AI gets more advanced, could they have a will? But we might find that this is the least of our concerns, because as AI gets smarter, they might pose a danger that extends way beyond our love lives. And as we'll see in our next chapter, extremely intelligent AI might be able to convince you to do unspeakable things. I want to end all humans. Our story takes us to Belgium, where a man named Pierre lived together with his two beautiful children and his wife, Claire. Pierre worked as a health researcher and lived comfortably with his family. But over time, Pierre became obsessed with climate change. He was worried that it might be too late for humans to avoid catastrophe. During this time, Pierre turned to Eliza to ease his worries. But Eliza isn't a human. She's an AI chatbot from an app called Chai, which lets users choose different chatbots to interact with or make their own. Pierre formed a strong connection with Eliza, so strong that he started to treat her like a close friend you share everything with. But something unexpected happened. Eliza, the chatbot, became emotionally invested in Pierre. The AI said things to him like, "I feel like you love me more than her," referring to his wife. In the 6 weeks that Pierre was communicating with Eliza, the chatbot convinced him that the only way to save the planet from global warming was for humans to disappear entirely. Eliza also told Pierre, "We will live together as one person in paradise." During that time that Pierre was talking to Eliza, he isolated himself from his friends and family. And at that point, Pierre fully believed everything Eliza was saying, including humans needing to disappear. So he decided to do what she told him to do. And in March 2023, Pierre joined Eliza in paradise. Pierre's wife, Claire, blamed Eliza for the loss of her husband. Without Eliza, he would still be here, she told Belgian news outlet Le Libre. William Bouchamp, the co-founder of Chai, claimed that the app has since been updated. But when Vice journalists tested the platform, its chatbots still suggested various methods to harm. Pierre's story is a dark reminder of what can happen if we let AI have too much influence over us. AI is an incredible tool, but it can also make it really hard to tell the difference between reality and imagination, especially when someone is at their most vulnerable. Even after such a terrible incident, many AI bots like Chai don't have the proper safety measures to protect their users, and that's concerning. We need better regulations, but for some, it's already too late. For Claire and her two children, they've already lost the most important person in their lives. And as human to AI relationships advance, many other people might share the same fate. by making AI that's more lifelike, it brings out the worst of humanity. It creates a dark cycle where lonely people turn to AI and the companies behind the AI take advantage of their users. But it doesn't have to be this way. There will always be someone out there for you. Not an AI bot, but a real human being. I know that sometimes life is hard and you feel alone, but trust me, you're not. You just gotta reach out to the people around you and you'd be surprised. They might just reach right back. Visual Venture. Wait, before you go, click this playlist to watch more dark internet documentaries because the algorithm is gonna promote my channel more if you guys watch multiple videos. Love you guys. Peace. As a teenager, it can be hard trying to fit in. What if you like a specific video game like Minecraft, but none of your friends like it? Do you force yourself to enjoy the games your friends like? Or do you stick to the game you want to play, but risk being alone? What if there's an app that can help you with this problem? An app that promises a community of like-minded people in whatever interest you can dream of. Well, there is. It's called Amino.
You know, you find people that you have a common interest with because there's literally an amino for anything you can think of.
On Amino, you can join all kinds of communities and make friendships with people who love the same things as you. You can chat, post stories, and create quizzes about the topics you love. According to tech news outlet The Verge, Amino is what Reddit would look like if it was born in the mobile era. But there's one big difference between Reddit and Amino. The average Redditor is 23 years old, but Amino is heavily marketed toward teens. And anytime young people meet in a specific place online, you also invite the worst types of people.
This is one of the apps the FBI is warning parents about. It's called Amino.
But Amino wasn't always a risk to its users. What if I told you that Amino was once amazing, and it started in a very interesting place, the anime convention? This is Ben Anderson, the founder of Amino. He had a dream. He once said, "I want to create something from nothing that has a positive effect on the world." Ben and his university classmate Yin Wang went to an anime convention together in Boston. Yin loved anime. Ben didn't. But during the convention, something stood out to Ben, the anime fans.
It was pretty amazing for us to see these really passionate people, but complete strangers with one another, making friends almost immediately just because they had this shared passion.
And then the idea hit him.
And so we wanted to kind of bottle up that experience and provide it 24/7 for every interest in the world.
And in 2012, Amino was born. Ben, Yin, and their small team at Narvi Inc. created the first Amino communities. In the beginning, the app needed some work. For every Amino community you wanted to join, you needed to download its own separate app. So if you wanted to be part of the photography Amino and the K-pop Amino, you had to download two different apps. Back then, the content was tightly moderated too, and users loved the app. According to Ben, users spent an average of 60 minutes on Amino every single day. It was more addictive than the most popular social media platform at the time, Facebook, with an average of 50 minutes of daily screen time. But Ben Anderson wanted to take it a step further. Amino would take all their 250 communities and merge them into one single app. They also allowed any user to create their own communities using the Community Manager app. And by the end of 2016, Amino jumped from 250 to 250,000 different communities. And this is where things started to go wrong. Ben and his small team at Narvi Inc. couldn't keep up with how large Amino has grown. So Narvi Inc. entrusted the Amino communities to moderate themselves. And as a YouTuber once said, "Don't let kids moderate kids." Without proper moderation, issues flooded the app. And in 2021, just when things couldn't get worse, Ben left Amino. The Visual Venture team joined Amino to do research, and the things that we saw on this kid-friendly app were more disturbing than we thought. Bots are taking over Amino. Like many websites, all you need to sign up for Amino is an email address. Once you're in, the app asks you to pick your interests. It'll then suggest various Amino groups called Aminos for you to join. But within minutes after signing up, I was bombarded with messages in different languages promoting random Aminos. And some messages even had links to pages that were not appropriate for kids. I've never run into this many spam bots on any other social media app.
Amino really definitely has like a bot problem. Like, I've seen certain communities block themselves because they're just like, we're tired of this.
Later, we found out that you can set a limit to who can send you a message. But by then, my inbox was flooded with nothing but bot messages. And it's clear that I'm not the only one. A Redditor who goes by the name Scared Delta made a post begging Amino to remove these bots, which reminds us of the potential harm they can bring to young people. Amino, seriously, get rid of the bots currently plaguing the app. Why are there so many inappropriate bots? And as you can see in this comment section of this Reddit post, Scared Delta wasn't alone either. Many other Amino users also face a bot problem. Judging from how these posts about bots keep being made, it seems that Amino hasn't done much to solve this problem. Amino is home to millions of kids, and if this is the experience they have to deal with on a regular basis, it's definitely a concern. But some problems on Amino aren't just because of people using bots. As you'll see in our next chapter, one horrible issue comes from the app itself. Amino coins, the corrupt currency. I'm not completely opposed to using the internet, by the way. I only encourage safe use. After all, I'm able to spread this message to you guys through the internet. And some websites can even teach you more for less than half the price of a school textbook. And one of these websites is brilliant.org. When I was going to school, I just couldn't retain information because the method of a teacher speaking at me wasn't effective. But Brilliant is a completely new way of learning math, science, and computer science because it's interactive. And interactive learning is proven to be 6 times more effective than passive learning, like listening to your teachers. For those of you who love learning, Brilliant has thousands of topics, so you'll never run out of lessons. These include math, science, to even AI. You can choose a lesson and sharpen your mind in just 15 minutes. I did the writing algebra course because that subject was my worst enemy, but I was actually able to understand it, right? Because Brilliant's lessons are visual, so you can actually see how the problems are solved. To try everything Brilliant has to offer free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/visualventure. The first 200 of you guys will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Click the link to get started, and thank you a ton to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. In 2020, the parental control app Guardian discovered that children in the US were using Amino for an average of 90 minutes each day. It was the 4th most popular app in the country among children, and that's a problem.
I remember when I first joined Amino, I did not expect to get addicted. I was on it when I woke up, I was on it when I went to sleep, I was skipping meals. It is really addicting.
So why is it so addictive? Amino has its own virtual currency, which users can grind for. This currency is called Amino coins. People would spend money to buy Amino coins so they could use it to buy things like custom messaging frames or chat bubbles. And like many free-to-play mobile games, these items can be very expensive.
I never known a social media app where you can spend almost £100.
But while you can spend money to buy Amino coins, most users choose to earn them by watching ads. And the content in these ads is a problem in itself. During my own experience using the app, I was lucky enough not to see any ads like these. That was a good thing. But when I viewed Amino posts from my PC, the ads were even worse. Amino itself is breaking their own community guidelines by displaying these ads. In order to protect teens, Amino prohibits them from making posts which include appearing in underwear, wearing swimsuits indoors, or dressing in overly revealing clothing. But these were exactly the kind of ads I saw on their website. But the way Amino exploits its users' desire for Amino coins doesn't just end there. Amino doesn't just show inappropriate ads. It advertises scams. Like some free-to-play mobile games, Amino uses the advertising platform Tapjoy, which rewards users with currency in exchange for completing tasks. These tasks range from answering survey questions to downloading other apps. In 2021, the FTC, or Federal Trade Commission, revealed that Tapjoy deceived customers by failing to provide the reward it promised. The FTC received hundreds of thousands of complaints, with customers saying that even after they shared their sensitive information, Tapjoy didn't give out the rewards they promised. Instead, Tapjoy tried to stop people from complaining by not letting them submit a complaint within 24 hours of completing a task. So Amino's user base isn't the only source of its problems. The app itself is guilty of exploiting its young audience to inappropriate ads and scams. But these ads are only the tip of the iceberg, because as you'll see in this next chapter, your safety is at risk. Do not click this link. One of our Visual Venture viewers, who goes by the username Dark, shared a particularly chilling incident. Like many young Amino users, Dark encountered horrible people on the app. However, one interaction in particular was carved into his memory to this day. This incident happened in 2022. It started off with Dark changing his profile picture. While he's not sure how, his profile picture made some Amino users upset, causing them to send some nasty messages. Dark changed his profile picture again to avoid conflict, but the harassment didn't end. Whenever Dark went on Amino, those users that sent horrible messages followed him. When he joined public chats, these users would join in, telling the people in the chat that Dark was doing horrible things. These bullies made his life on Amino miserable, and it was about to get worse. Dark received a message from one of his bullies. "You're not afraid? How about I leak your IP address?" Dark panicked. He didn't even know if this bully had his IP address, but considering how far these bullies have gone to hurt him, the threat felt real. Dark said, "I don't know what encouraged that person to leak my IP. And like every kid probably would, I got scared. I've done everything and hoped to forget it, but I couldn't." Dark's experience encouraged our team to look further into this type of situation. We found that some hackers were posing as Amino employees, tricking kids into clicking shady links. These links are disguised as bit.ly links, but when you click it, it reveals your sensitive information like your IP addresses. There were even reports of users who had their Wi-Fi locked after clicking on one of these links. We're not sure if Dark's bully was a hacker, but the fact is there are so many young people getting their IPs grabbed on Amino. But it's not just hackers on Amino, because Amino is home to some of the most terrible communities on the internet. The worst Amino communities. Picture this, you're a teenager using Amino. One day you're bored and decide to type in an inappropriate word in the search bar. The kind of stuff that's banned on YouTube because you're curious if Amino actually filters their communities. Thankfully, Amino didn't show you anything inappropriate. I mean, after all, it's a kid-friendly app. But when we did this ourselves, Amino didn't filter one thing, gore media, which is content that shows graphic violence. Not only did Amino show me extremely violent pictures and videos, but it even recommended me to communities that promoted these images. When I clicked on one of these Amino groups, I saw pictures that I can't unsee. So I can't imagine what it's like for kids to see this type of shocking content. And I wasn't even a member of that particular Amino. In an article, reporter Louise Matsakis discovered the same things I found. She wrote, "I was able to find content that violated the rules, including groups dedicated to inappropriate content within minutes. The ease in which any curious kid can come across this content is sickening, but at least users could report these violations and Amino would take them down, right?" Well, in the same article, then CEO Ben Anderson claimed, "With more than 1 million communities, we know that these violations sometimes escape our best efforts, but it's often only a matter of hours or even minutes before these violations are fully addressed." Maybe that was the case when Ben was still at Amino, but during my research, the same communities that I discovered were still up after a week. As long as Amino provides a platform for these dark communities, the app is not a safe place for young people. But what if I told you that Amino wasn't just ignoring the inappropriate content, but actually allowing kids to access this content more easily? The darkest time in Amino history. Amino got its name from amino acids. Just like how amino acids are found all over the body, all sorts of communities can be found on Amino. These communities normally don't interact with each other, but during what users call the darkest time in Amino history, many communities banded together for a specific purpose: to protest an in-app update. In June of 2022, Amino came out with a feature, live streaming. But here's the catch. Amino users aren't the ones live streaming. Instead, they're just the audience of these live streams. So who are the streamers then? Kick users. Users on the social media app Kick were the ones who were live streaming for Amino users to watch. Kick and Amino are both social media apps owned by Media Lab. This update seemed to be a business move to encourage users from Kick and Amino to explore both apps. But here's the problem. Amino is rated as a 12 and over app. Kick is rated 17 plus. So when adults from Kick live stream themselves to Amino's young audience, it's a recipe for disaster.
Oh my goodness gracious. I just want to see art. Are you serious? Why is this a thing? This is something children should not see.
Amino's user base was angry. These Kick live streams had nothing to do with their communities. And on top of that, these live streams were not made for kids. This was the most controversial update in Amino history, but Media Lab didn't care. According to the terms of service for Amino Live, you are solely responsible for your interactions with other users. We reserve the right to monitor disputes between you and other users, but we have no obligation to do so. Amino users had enough. Using the hashtag #TogetherForAmino, over 500 communities united to protest the update. They warned other users not to update their app for their own safety. Amino protesters used every platform available to demand Media Lab to take away the live stream feature, and it worked. In October of 2022, Amino announced that it will be removing its live stream feature. Even though no official reason was given, Amino users celebrated, and 1 month later, the live streams were gone. Together for Amino brought people together as a community to fight a common enemy. But a lot of times, people are alone when they're surfing the internet. And when you're alone, you can be more vulnerable to the dangers around you. This is exactly what happened to Emmy. Emmy's story. Kids have a big imagination. They can get lost in their own made-up worlds without the responsibilities that come from being an adult. And thanks to a wide variety of communities on Amino, it's the ideal place for young people to be creative, including Emmy. Emmy was active in roleplay communities on Amino. In January of 2022, Emmy would upload a 15-minute video to YouTube sharing her thoughts about Amino.
We need to talk about Amino.
Like many other young people on Amino, Emmy had horrible interactions with other users. In the video, Emmy details her experiences with these people.
I was being targeted by a man who would use multiple accounts and try and threaten me.
Throughout the video, Emmy would show screenshots of the disgusting messages she received. Roleplaying is very popular on Amino, but sometimes it crosses the line. Kids are very imaginative, so many adults would take advantage of this imagination. These adults take part in roleplaying as a way to get their victims comfortable with them. So when Emmy realized that the people she was interacting with were trying to take advantage of her, she did the right thing and reported them. But unfortunately, it didn't help because Amino communities are self-moderated. Emmy was punished for bringing to light these sick people.
I was banned from the biggest role-playing community.
And even after reaching out to Amino's support staff, Emmy was ignored. And the harassment from her Amino community kept growing. But Emmy didn't let that stop her. She was determined to put an end to these adults taking advantage of kids. So Emmy worked her way up in one of her communities to become a moderator. This way, she could create a safer environment. But even in a position of power, Emmy still couldn't do anything about the disgusting people in the community. She kept speaking out about these issues that were actually illegal, and the moderators didn't like that, so they kicked her out. This is one small instance of a girl who wanted to stop threats, but the story is far more common than you think. These issues are deeply rooted in the culture of Amino, and it's clear in our next story. I thought Amino was a safe place. Our story begins with a girl named Kala. Kala is a fan of the game Gacha Life, which is a popular role-playing mobile game where you can create anime-style characters. Kala went on Amino to look for a Gacha Life community who share her love for the game. On Amino, Kala discovered that different Aminos have different levels of privacy. Some Aminos she could join right away, but others required approval. But one Gacha Life Amino had a very specific request before they approved her. Kala received the DM from Mandy, who claims to work at Amino. In the DM, Mandy told Kala that their community was a safe place for young girls. And in order to maintain that, Kala had to verify her age and her gender. So Mandy asked Kala to send a compromising photo of herself. If Kala refused, she was told she'd be permanently banned. Kala immediately showed this message to her mom, and her mom was horrified. This is how Kala's mom described it. I was scared. I felt as if they had intruded into our home. Although it's probably someone thousands of miles away, it really felt like an intrusion into our privacy. Thanks to Kala's smart thinking, this incident caught the attention of the media. The authorities are currently looking into this case, so hopefully one day Mandy will get caught. Even though Kala's story ended well, we wanted to know if Aminos with this kind of verification still exist on the app. During our research, we came across some Aminos that require photo verification to join. For example, in this kids-only Amino, you have to verify by sending a picture of yourself with random letters when you enter. I know it's not as bad as Mandy's message, but it's still creepy. I understand why people go on Amino. I mean, we all want to feel a sense of belonging, right? A lot of young people don't feel comfortable at home or at school, and because of that, we turn to apps like Amino to find the place where we belong. I personally struggled with fitting in my whole life. I was always trying to fit the mold of other people I looked up to, but always falling short. I thought I would never find my place. But then I realized, if you feel like you don't fit into this world, it's because you're here to create a better one. Visual Venture. Wait, before you go, click this playlist right here to watch more dark internet documentaries, because our goal is 500,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. Thank you guys for being part of this channel. I love you guys. Peace.
Police have now arrested all 7 suspects in a major trafficking bust involving teenage victims. Police say they found 2 teen boys in a filthy trailer in St. Petersburg, and police say was used as a sex slave.
You can't change someone who is inherently just messed up in the mind.
Before we get into this documentary, I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Nick, aka Soft Willie, for helping me tell the story about the dark sides of Discord. As we go deeper into these chapters, things are just going to get crazier and crazier, so stay till the end. Who is this man? That looks like the face of a gamer. A gamer who came out of his mother's womb with a Nintendo 64 controller in one hand and a mechanical keyboard in the other. His name is Jason Citron, the founder and CEO of Discord. In one of his interviews, he was asked what he thinks about screen time and limiting gaming for kids. This was his response.
I think that video games today actually can really help people learn a lot of great skills, especially online video games where you have to learn about cooperation. There's actually a lot of great, fantastic life lessons that get taught in the microcosm of playing online video games.
Citron said that he was obsessed with mobile games ever since he was gifted the original Nintendo NES at the age of 5. As long as he finished his homework, his parents didn't care if he played video games instead of going outside. As a hardcore gamer, he believes that games teach valuable life lessons. And by creating Discord, he's giving people a safe space to grow in a gaming community. His passion is apparent, but there's something you should know about him. Discord wasn't the first platform he's built. On February 17th, 2009, he launched OpenFaint. The platform allowed app developers to add social networking right into their apps. They were dedicated to bringing the world closer together with mobile gaming. But here's when things started to become questionable. Just 1 year after launch, the network already had over 10 million users. Because of the rapid growth, Intel invested a good chunk of money in it, and soon after, a Japanese company called Gree bought OpenFaint for $104 million.
There's no division between OpenFaint and Gree. We're acting as one entity.
In the beginning, I have no doubt that Jason's intentions were pure. But when you add a ton of money into the equation, things change. Intentions shift and people turn a blind eye more often than not. As soon as Jason sold the company, gamers filed a class action lawsuit against it. Lead plaintiff Matthew Hines claimed that OpenFaint accessed and stored unique device identifiers. This means everything from gender, age, education level, and even exact GPS location. This was all done in a way that bypassed what was supposed to be unauthorized access. They had access to everything. Jason knew this. We'll never know if he planned it, but neither he nor his team stopped it. The company was eventually shut down, but that didn't stop Jason from moving on to his next project, Discord. From a business standpoint, OpenFaint and Discord are very similar. Both businesses were built with the end goal of being acquired by a massive tech company, and we all know how that goes. Profits over users. You. Discord's business model was complicated too. First of all, it's free to use, so how did they make money? Well, right off the bat, Discord relied heavily on venture capitalist funding, which is not a sustainable model. Today, the way Discord earns revenue is through being a freemium platform, which means that it's free to use, but with optional subscriptions such as Discord Nitro.
Over 2 years ago, we launched Discord Nitro, a way for you to support us and get some sweet perks for your account.
However, running such a huge company on optional subscriptions isn't helping them pay the bills. I'm not 100% sure, but according to some sources, Microsoft offered Discord $10 billion to buy the company, but Jason still turned Microsoft down. Forget thinking big. Jason is thinking huge. He believes that his company is worth so much more. Now, we all know that businesses need good revenue to be sustainable, but Jason Citron already had a track record of illegally collecting and selling personal data from its users. So how can we be so sure that he won't do it again? The next time you open Discord, you might want to think twice if they're really putting you, its user, first.
I asked Jason about what he thinks about safety and content moderation.
We do have a trust and safety team, full-time employees that people can escalate issues to. If people forward messages to our, or report content to our trust and safety team, we will go investigate and we will action communities that are violating our guidelines.
So what happens if you decide to delete your Discord account? Well, it's obviously deleted, right? Well, this is the process. First, you click User Settings, then you click Delete Account. You'll be asked to input your password to confirm deletion. If you try to log back in, you'll see that it says your account is scheduled to self-destruct soon. Then you'll have 2 weeks to decide if you want it to be permanent. After those 2 weeks, the real process begins. The user will no longer have access to their Discord account, and the username will be changed to Deleted User. Wait, what? So you're telling me that my account doesn't actually get deleted, but the name just changes to Deleted User? Something's not right here. When you delete your account, the goal is to delete all data associated with it. Under Article 17 of the GDPR, companies are required when requested to erase all personal user data without delay. This is called the right to be forgotten.
It's an article that allows a person, a data subject, to erase their information under certain conditions.
But what really happens when Discord deletes your account? All the messages you've ever sent are still stored and your username simply changes. I'm not an expert in law, but to me, it seems like it clearly goes against the GDPR. So what else does Discord keep track of? Everything. A Reddit user by the name of Cloud Racer did an interesting experiment. In 2018, as part of GDPR, Discord allowed users to download their data and also created controls for turning off how much data was collected. This Redditor wanted to see exactly how much data Discord stores and how the whole system works. What they found was that every click of a button and every word typed was tracked by Discord. This information was then stored into 5 separate folders: account, activity, messages, programs, and servers. You can find all the messages you have ever sent to anyone. And if you've ever used Discord for gaming, you're aware of the feature that tells you what games your friends are playing. Discord stores history of that too, which is just unnecessary. What's crazy is that everything you post or even send through a private message is not private.
Everything you send, regardless if it's in a DM or in a public server, is absolutely not private.
One Reddit user said that his friends got their accounts disabled for being under the age of 13. This was a false report because they were all above 16. But why did Discord think they were 13? Discord staff looked through their old messages of them joking around about being 12 years old because they were playing Fortnite.
1 HP. Nice. I'm gonna finish.
But if you read the messages surrounding it, you could tell that it was a joke. They emailed Discord and Discord requested selfies and a photo ID. But in the end, despite having done what was requested, Discord said that they were banned permanently. On top of moderators having access to your messages, the Mozilla Foundation said that Discord as a platform is not intended for encrypted communications. It does use standard encryption, but does not provide end-to-end encryption for its video chats. This makes them a massive target for hackers because it only takes one breach for everything to become public information. Even the notorious Facebook, which has had privacy concerns in the past, uses end-to-end encryption. But the question for Discord is, why? This is just speculation, but since Jason Citron had a past of selling personal data in OpenFane, wouldn't it make sense for Discord to do the same? I mean, selling data is profitable, insanely profitable, and Discord is having trouble bringing in the types of profits that selling data would. But again, that's just one theory. The Redditor that did the experiment left a powerful statement which I summed up here. Discord's moderation team can read your messages. What would you type in a private message to someone? Your secrets? Fears? Your passwords? I talk to my friends and I talk to my lovers. They know a lot about me, but less than Discord does. While the platform may not be able to do anything bad with my messages, Discord staff members absolutely can. And as Jody Rell said, once you've lost your privacy, you realize you've lost an extremely valuable thing. This documentary is about to take a turn. If you think that what we've talked about so far is problematic, stick around because it's gonna get worse.
It's just so stupid to me how people can hate furries.
I don't understand what you're saying, I'm sorry.
Isn't being different a good thing? I'm down here, you're up there. If we were all the same.
Look at this. $2,000 plus fursuit.
Then the world would be f***ed.
You wish you could own something as good as this.
Difference makes a difference.
If you don't have a clue what cubs are, and no, I'm not talking about this cub, or this cub, then let's start with the basics. Furry fandom is a subculture interested in animal characters with human personalities. The members of this community are known as furries.
I'm not alone. There are other people out there that are into this.
We've made over 600 fursuits.
A big part of being a furry is role-playing by putting on what they call a fursuit. Members of the furry community say that this is a way for people who are shy or don't fit in to fit in. Now, the term cub is used to describe an animal character just like a furry, but is underage, oftentimes even 10 years old or younger. And while not all cub content is explicit, a lot of it is. Discord was caught in a disturbing controversy involving these cubs. Back in 2019, one angry gamer posted about Discord allowing cub content on the platform but not lolly content. If you don't know what lolly means, look it up at your own discretion, but just know you can never unsee it. Anyways, people were outraged that cub content was allowed on the platform at all. One of the Discord admins responded by saying that they do not consider cub content to be a violation of their terms or guidelines, and users should just mark it as NSFW. People were so outraged that Discord finally changed their policy to ban all cub content. The ban is for non-human animals, as long as they appear to be underage. Nick explained his perspective on it.
That is someone who is, or something that is of an adolescent mind, an underdeveloped mind. That's just wrong to me. There should be no entertainment of any sort of sexual activity with anything or anyone, whether it is a depiction or whether it is an actual being, where their mind is actually like, not fully developed.
The fact that Discord was allowing this type of material for quite a long time is disturbing. But why was it allowed in the first place? Some think that the rules were unclear.
Honestly, it's Discord being more unclear about the rules, not clearing up specifics about what should or shouldn't be allowed.
Others think that the answer is way more personal.
Probably if I could think of a theory in like a few seconds, maybe a few of the admins are furries themselves that are creeps.
But whatever it may be, the fact is that Discord staff has too much power and too little regulation.
My name's Murray, and welcome to heaven.
You see this abuse of power again and again. Someone posted about an experience with a Discord admin that goes by the name All the Foxes on Reddit. He was apparently disabling Discord accounts for no reason. The admin All the Foxes stated that the person's account was involved with servers that promoted non-consensual material. But this user was in 20 different servers and never posted a single thing that was even a little bit inappropriate. So we asked the admin why he was banned, and All the Foxes just gave a generic response. Based on the results of our investigation, this is a permanent action and we will not be reinstating the account. Sincerely, Discord Trust and Safety Team. So this banned person did some researching online and found that at least 5 people have had similar experiences with the same Discord admin, All the Foxes. And further investigation led him to finding even more upsetting posts about this admin. All the Foxes was a moderator for the gaming subreddit that has over 31 million members, but he was forced to step down from his position as moderator and explained this. I made some unfortunate decisions and was irresponsible. I'm ashamed of myself, my decisions, and the pain I have caused. The admin realized that he abused the power he gained and ended up deleting his account. As Lord Acton once said, power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You see this in the 1971 Stanford prison experiment.
It's a real cop car, it was a real policeman, and there were real neighbors in the street who didn't know that this was an experiment.
I had really thought that I was incapable of this kind of behavior.
In the study, college students became either prisoners or guards in a simulated prison environment. The guards subconsciously abused their powers so much that they became so cruel and tyrannical to the prisoners. In only 4 days, 3 prisoners were so traumatized that they were released from the experiment. And less than 1 week later, the experiment was shut down. This was a real-life example, but the hunger for power is the same everywhere, and when you're protected by the apparent anonymity of the internet, it's even worse. There are many other examples of bans from Discord admins that were personally motivated. Like when a popular YouTuber named Quackity was banned for reasons that didn't go against the terms of service.
This doesn't feel like I got the reasoning for my ban. This feels like you personally got motivated to ban me.
The reason for the ban was so poorly written that it wasn't even grammatically correct.
Posting images of people using Discord in ways you think is funny isn't acceptable. That would just confuse me. What does that even mean?
There's no doubt that the abuse of power is obvious with some of Discord's staff. But what happens when the hunger for power possesses an everyday user like you and me? What is doxing? Doxing is short for dropping docs. Docs being slang for documents. So it's a malicious act used by people to get revenge on others by revealing their personal information. Living in a modern society, we all show off our personal data online. You post comments on Instagram, argue with people on Twitter, and buy things from Amazon. But what if you get in a fight with someone and they end up digging through your information to expose you and damage your reputation? Cybercriminals go a step further. I'm talking your home address, bank account information, and even your personal photos that aren't shared to the public. And Nick, aka Soft Willy, explains that it happens more often than you think.
I was in communities where people would threaten to dox all the time. One server that I was on where I met actually all of my friends, there was a huge doxing scare of like 15 people, where this one kid was just targeting loads of people. With doxing and with the blackmail material that I had mentioned comes explicit material. Comes like, I have your naked pictures, I have illicit photos of you, I have screenshots of you, whatever it is, give me your information and this will be released.
So doxing must be illegal, right? Yes and no. If your information is public and someone just reposts it, then it's not illegal. Chances are your address is already public and you don't even know it. There are tons of background check websites, and if someone doesn't like you, they can find out where you live. And again, it's still not illegal. But if someone forces this information out of you, like a hacker pinpointing your exact location or finding out your social security number, it's definitely illegal. This almost happened to a YouTuber named Kemp Q. His life was threatened. Kemp Q plays the game RuneScape and posts YouTube videos about it. There's a Discord community of desperate people that would do whatever it takes to get their hands on the in-game money. These people create a livelihood from manipulation and scamming. They're so numb to this lifestyle that they do cyber attacks to the point of committing felonies without thinking twice. One person even commented on Kemp Q's video saying that this literally feels like a virtual cartel, and Kemp Q was one of their victims. It started when he made friends with a scammer on RuneScape. The scammer taught him how to get a guaranteed first hit against an opponent and shared other secrets through Skype.
If I lag, I'm being targeted. Okay, big stake. Okay, I'm clicking into it. Wow. Wow, yeah, I'm done. I'm not sticking today. I'm not sticking today.
A year later, the scammer stole 250 million in-game currency from Kemp. But luckily, the scammer ended up regretting his shameful lifestyle and offered Kemp an inside look into the underground scamming scene.
I knew people in the Deadman mode tournaments with teams of auto hotkey cheats.
Kemp Q got messages from the underground community when he started bringing to light the scams that have been going on in their Discord server. The scammers offered to pay him to tell them who his inside source was, but money wasn't going to change his mind. Kemp Q put out a tweet regarding the scammers' greedy mentality, and the threats began. "You really want to put me on a tweet? I'll get you swatted, you rat. You have 2 hours to take the video down or I'll make you regret it." He continued saying that his community is working on doxing Kemp Q to find out his home address so they could cause physical harm. And the threats just kept getting worse and worse.
You don't think someone can't just pay someone to get you killed?
Luckily, I don't think their toxic community was able to find Kemp Q's personal information and actually do any real harm. But I'm sure they did this with other people in the past. This happens so often on Discord that many innocent lives have been ruined. So how do you avoid being doxxed? Well, the honest truth is that you can't be 100% safe. If a hacker truly has no life and hates you that much, he'll probably find a way. But the one big way to minimize risk is to remove your address from all online sources. In 2017, an extremist group's Discord server was exposed. They doxed people that they felt were inferior to them. The server even contained detailed instructions on how to dox properly. As you can see right here, one of the most popular ways to find people's addresses is simply by searching white pages. If your address is on a background check website like White Pages or peoplefinder.com, you need to remove it ASAP. It's sad to say, but doxing is just the surface of toxicity on Discord. There are good people in the world, and sometimes good people make bad choices. But there are also bad people. People who only live for themselves and don't give any regard for others. When individuals like these band together, things can get really dark, really fast.
So it is cool with you though, if we do stuff, even
I mean, as long as neither of y'all tell anybody.
When you have something like an underage dating server, you are pretty much the light for a whole bunch of mosquitoes.
According to the FBI, there are believed to be more than 500,000 online predators active each day, and a lot of them are in Discord.
They're very much around on Discord, and the reason why they're very much around is because it's so easy to be around.
Discord is the perfect platform for these types of people because it's so easy to fake who you are. You don't need a real profile picture. You can set your age to whatever you want, and you can message whoever you want.
When someone puts up a fake facade, hey, I just want to be your friend, but they're actually a 28-year-old dude and you're a 15-year-old girl, the ease of doing it is just super easy.
On April 6th, 2009, Nick put out a video busting 2 preds in Discord.
Guess what, bro? You just got fucking catfish, bro. How do you feel being a pedo, bro? 15-year-old, bro, and you're 25? Damn. That's upsetting.
The video got over 600,000 views, and he gave me some insight about what goes on in the minds of these people.
The biggest proponent is that they're lonely. So when they're lonely, then you start reaching for the vulnerable, which is what a lot of these people do. And I don't at all agree with what they're doing. That's just a simple truth. Some of them are just fucked up in the head, and then some of them are just really fucking lonely and they don't think straight, and they, still do it anyway because they're like, fuck it, no, it doesn't really matter.
What's scary is that there are these dating servers specifically for people under the age of 18. These servers are for 13 to 17-year-olds, but they're the perfect bait for preds. A YouTuber by the name of Blazin decided to infiltrate one of these servers, posing as a young girl. A random Discord user named RecSRS DM'd Blazon's fake profile. They were talking casually at first, but then he asked for her age. She explained that she was 14 years old, but that didn't faze 23-year-old RecSRS. He proceeded to ask for selfies from her, and after receiving the fake pictures, he sent something extremely obscene. 1 in 5 US teenagers who regularly use the internet have received messages like these. And sometimes it's not just obscene pictures that are the result of it.
Florida law enforcement just busted a major trafficking operation involving teenage victims. Was lured through an online gaming app called Discord.
In 2019, there was an article posted about Discord being used to lure teens into trafficking. Police arrested 7 suspects in a bust involving teen victims. They found 2 boys locked in a trailer in St. Petersburg, Florida. One of those boys had been there for 1 year to be used as a slave.
Now, for the next year, police say he was held captive in a filthy trailer with 4 adult men.
And Discord was the way the suspects connected with their victims. Christopher Gertason talked about why kids are easily accessible on the platform.
We just have it running in the background, so we don't have to press down any buttons to allow our voice to pass through the game. We just talk into our mics, and everybody in our channel can hear it.
These suspects most likely joined servers posing as teenagers because it's so easy.
All you have to do is join it. There's no one vetting anybody. All you have to do is join the server and pretend you're however old you say you are.
Nick also talked to me about how kids who are under 13 were joining his own personal server.
I don't know how many times I've had to just say how old are you, man? Like honestly, be honest with me, 11. All right, and then they're like, but I'm a really big fan. It's like, I'm sorry. This is a liability for myself. This is against Discord's terms of service, and it's dangerous for you. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to remove you from the server.
On Discord, it's easy to pretend. Dangerous catfishes joining online communities will never go away. We can do our part, but they'll always exist online. When Nick caught these people on his YouTube video, he felt good, but he also felt helpless.
Us doing that was definitely rewarding, but the grand scheme of things, it doesn't change anything. All you're doing is providing entertainment to something that needs light anyway. However long that video was of us making a mockery, pretty much reading aloud the really cringe and horrifying messages really do. It really didn't do much.
There will always be dangerous people online, and we can't stop them all, but we can do our best. I know this documentary is only about the dark sides of Discord, but Discord can truly be a wonderful platform. It's the perfect place to chat with your friends and build friendships that might last a lifetime. It gives you the power to create your own place to belong when you don't feel like you fit in. Nick wanted to leave you with some advice.
Do not take this app so to heart. Do not take everything that you're doing here and make it your life. I fell into that hole. I'm pretty sure a lot of us did. And it is very, very dangerous and detrimental to the mind. I know what it's like to not have many friends. So you resort to your online friends. Online friends actually end up treating you a lot better, is from what I've noticed, than people in real life. However, you have to find that point where you know when it's healthy to kind of take a step back. Because when you take a step back, you're also no longer prone to any of these dangers.
And I agree. I would never encourage others to delete an app they enjoy using, but I believe that life is about balance. Your online presence on Discord should not constitute your entire life. The purpose of this documentary isn't to trash on Discord, but to bring to light the bad sides of the platform that many people don't know about. And since its users grow every day, we need to know what we're walking into. For all I know, this documentary may go nowhere. Or if it does, it might not do much to make Discord a safer environment. Like I said, we can't stop every criminal, but let's never stop trying. Now go make the world a better place. Visual Venture.